Hi, everybody. I'm Margo from Amsterdam, the Netherlands. I'm a grateful member of Al-Anon, and I came into the program 3 years and 6 months ago because it was my oldest son who was in addiction. And I'm very grateful I found the program. It took me 51 years to find it, and I'm finally on my healing journey. And I'm so grateful to be here with all of you today. And I'm a grateful member of the Berlin Circle that I visit every Monday. Al-Anon is the fellowship for all family and friends of alcoholics and addicts. Anyone is welcome. Please wait, may we have a moment's silence to remember why we are here and to think of those who have not yet found these rooms. And please join me in the serenity prayer to open our meeting. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. We welcome you to this Al-Anon meeting and hope you will find in this fellowship the help and friendship we have been privileged to enjoy. We who live or have lived with the problem of alcoholism understand, as perhaps few others can. We too were lonely and frustrated, but in Al-Anon we discovered that no situation is really hopeless and that it is possible for us to find contentment and even happiness, whether the alcoholic is still drinking or not. We urge you to try our program. It has helped many of us find solutions and even serenity. So much depends on our own attitudes. And as we learn to place our problem in its true perspective, we find that it loses its power to dominate our thoughts and our hearts. The family situation is bound to improve as we apply the Al-Anon ideas. Without such spiritual help, living with an alcoholic is too much for most of us. Our thinking becomes distorted by trying to force solutions, and we become irritable and unreasonable without knowing it. The Al-Anon program is based on the 12 steps of AA, which we try little by little, one day at a time, to apply to our lives, along with our slogans and the Serenity Prayer. The loving interchange among members and daily readings of Al-Anon literature thus make us ready to receive the priceless gift of serenity. Al-Anon is an anonymous fellowship. Everything that is said and heard in the meetings should be held in confidence. It is with this trust that we can help one another in Al-Anon. Everyone is welcome at this meeting, regardless of your age, race, sexual identity, social class, or creed. Al-Anon is an inclusive fellowship. A lot of what you hear today may not make sense to you, and it is suggested that you attend at least 6 Al-Anon meetings before you make up your mind if the fellowship is right for you. It is also suggested that you try 6 different meetings if you wish, as each meeting has its own flavor. This is not a requirement. You are, of course, welcome to return to the same meeting or try as many different meetings as you like. As a newcomer, you may feel that you are here for the alcoholic, that your presence here may teach them how to stop the alcoholic's drinking or in some way influence someone else's unacceptable behavior. You will come to understand that alcoholism is a family illness, a disease that you didn't cause, can't control, and you cannot cure. Living with another person's drinking, we become ill at ease ourselves, or as you've heard us say, we become irritable and unreasonable without knowing it. And so Al-Anon is a program for you, for your recovery from the effects of the family disease. Here you will find love, understanding, and friendship. The people around you have or are experiencing in varying degrees the same anxiety, hurt, anger, and frustration that you may be experiencing. You are in the right place. We invite you to keep coming back. Al-Anon is a safe place where your anonymity is respected and protected. When you hear the word God, do not think we are a religious group. It is merely a convenient word for the higher power we talk about. And that concept can be anything you wish, including the power of the group. We have amongst us atheists who do not find the program impossible to practice. Ginny, over to you for the preamble.
The Al-Anon family groups are a fellowship of relatives and friends of alcoholics who share their experience, strength, and hope in order to solve their common problems. We believe that alcoholism is a family illness and that changed attitudes can aid recovery. Al-Anon is not allied with any sect, denomination, political entity, organization, or institution, does not engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. There are no dues for membership. Al-Anon is self-supporting through its own voluntary contributions. Al-Anon has but one purpose: to help families of alcoholics. We do this by practicing the 12 steps, by welcoming and giving comfort to the families of alcoholics, and by giving understanding and encouragement to the alcoholic. Marla, do you want to take it away?
Thank you so much, Ginny, and thank you for inviting me today. Happy Christmas, everyone. And yes, I'm sorry I was a little late. One of the events overran on my side. So I would like to start with a reading from ODAT, December 25th. I'm going to disappear briefly because the reading is on my phone, and it starts like this. It is often suggested in Al-Anon that we examine our motives. It isn't easy to ask, why did I do that? And conscientiously track the fault to its source. Did I really mean to let those resentful words escape from me? Did I intend to hurt? Or was I giving vent to the pressure of a deeper discomfort, guilt, inadequacy, or fear? When I looked closely at my reasons, did I believe that what I said or did was justified? We may justify our actions, but often we only rationalize or sidestep the truth. As we dig down deep to uncover our motives, we discover how painful it is to admit, even to ourselves, that we are wrong. Al-Anon places a high value on self-honesty. Facing up to our faults is one of the first steps towards overcoming them. Today's reminder: I am on the way to achieving maturity when I can cheerfully accept the fact that I am not always right. Then new truths can penetrate and open my mind to the helpful influences all around me. And the quote is, every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but God pondereth the hearts. And it's a proverb. So I wanted to read that today because it's Christmas Day and I woke up and I had a lot of resentful thoughts, and I really tried to hand them over, but I found it really difficult to do. And I went on a morning meeting, my usual daily readers meeting, and I saw someone there that upset me about a month ago, and all the resentments came out. And after the meeting, I found myself asking myself, you know, was I being fair? Was I working my program? And the honest answer was no. And I know that I had allowed myself to revert back to old behaviors, because I know what to do when these thoughts, these old ways of thinking, come to my mind. I look at them as though they were clouds, passing clouds above me, and then I focus back on myself. And this morning, I chose not to do that. I chose to indulge those feelings. And when I found myself writing to a fellow Al-Anon, I knew I was in trouble. And I was able to, erase the text and sit with myself, say the Serenity Prayer, and just bring myself back to my program and remind myself that, my program isn't magic. It doesn't just work on its own. I have to work it. I have to choose to turn my attention to a piece of literature or to a slogan, to the Serenity Prayer, whatever it is, something that's going to remind me that there is a different way, there is a better way, and there is a higher way. Because, I really do believe that saying that when you hold resentments against another person, you are drinking poison, hoping that other person is going to be affected or even die. And of course, as a reasonable adult, I know that's not true. I know that the only person my resentments affect is me. And I don't want them, you know. I'm 62 years of age, and my feeling is that there's more life now, my life, behind me than in front. And I do not want to waste whatever time I have left indulging in hateful thoughts, resentful thoughts, thoughts that do not serve anything or anyone. And what I do know is that everybody, including myself, makes mistakes every day. And if I want to be an adult, to be mature, I can just accept that and let it go. I know that person didn't set out that morning to hurt me and to, you know, to make me feel those resentments. That's something that was triggered inside of me, you know, something that's left over from my childhood, you know, from different times in my life, where I take on that, you know, that sense that I am less than, that I don't belong. And then as soon as someone triggers me, you know, there I am again, indulging it. And I'm so grateful for this program because I now have that awareness. At least I'm aware of where those thoughts and feelings come from. And then what I can do is just sit with those feelings for a while and see if I can accept them. And those that I cannot accept, I try to hand over to my higher power. And then if there's any action to be taken, such as an amends, I can take it if I can, you know, if it's appropriate, if it's not going to hurt the other person or, you know, cause more troubles. And, you know, it's a way of life, it's a philosophy that helps me, I feel, to be a better person, to be a bigger person. So just for today, I'm grateful that I've got somewhere to share these thoughts and these feelings. And it helps me to feel lighter. It helps me to start my day again. And that's what I'm doing. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Thank you, Marla. Margot, would you like to come on in?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Margo from Amsterdam. Great to see everybody. Thank you so much, Patrick, for putting on the whole day. It's amazing. I've been listening since this morning. Amazing stuff. And I love Marla and I love Ginny. They're my fellows from Al-Anon. And let me start. I came in here, like I said in my introduction, at age 51. And it was because we did an intervention on my 23-year-old son who was deep into alcoholism and addiction. And it did work out. And I was very lucky because the interventionist told me, they were fellows from AA and NA, and they told me and my husband to get ourselves to Al-Anon as soon as we could. They lured us in by saying it will help your son's recovery. And then, of course, as soon as I came into the first meeting, I understood that this was about me. 14 days into Al-Anon, my denial, I always call it my cloak of denial. I had this huge Harry Potter-like cloak all around me, and it denied all that was happening all around me. And 14 days into Al-Anon, because of people's shares, I understood that it had been with me already, the illness, since about age 11, 12, when my brother disappeared first into criminal behavior and then into substance abuse. And then very soon, when he was 16, his first jail time. And so there was the start already of alcoholism. Then I chose a partner to have two children with, two sons. And unbeknownst to me, which still amazes me to this day, I lived with this man for 9 years, with the two little children at first. And one day this person just left me and the children to my own devices and said, I found someone else. I'm going to go over to this other family over here. And I never realized it into Al-Anon when I was 51 years of age, that he also had alcoholism and addiction. And in fact, in 2019, just before my Al-Anon journey, he passed away under very mysterious circumstances, my ex-partner, and which I now understand were the causes of this family illness that affects all of us. And anyway, it was a great relief when denial finally sort of left me. It left me all at once. And that really freed me from this kind of a notion that I had to keep everything all right. I'm the oldest one of two brothers. Then, of course, I was raising my sons by myself because their dad had left. So I was in my own grip of being this generalissimo over everybody. Control was my middle name. And, you would just give me your life and I would arrange all of it for you perfectly. Just hand over your life to Margot and all will be great. Of course, Margot was not great because here I am struggling over all these people around me. I'm managing all their lives, right? Why am I exhausted all the time? Why am I so resentful? Why do I keep being exhausted? And I was still able to manage my work life here. I had to because I'm raising these sons. And anyway, but I kept struggling through life. I would go to therapy. Thank God I did. But that would just solve these little, it would solve areas in my life, like smaller areas. And then I came to Al-Anon and I thought, oh my God, still thank God for the therapy. At least I did have some help. But in Al-Anon, I understood how the family illness works, how it all encompasses our whole lives and it affects all the areas. And that's where I finally really found, well, first of all, I found that I was not alone. So my isolation could break, and I knew now that my husband's sponsor in LA likes to joke, if all the Al-Anons would start a business together, the business would thrive because all the Al-Anons would pick up all this, all the responsibility and do all this stuff. But anyway, I was finally released from that. And at first I was so exhausted still from all these years managing people's lives, my son's lives, my husband, but finally I got to learn, but I needed the rooms. I asked all the, in particular, in my case, the parents. There's a parent meeting in LA on Saturday for parents of an alcoholic addicted child. And these parents taught me what the hell to do with my own life now that all this time was suddenly available to me because I wasn't managing all the people anymore around me. Then it's when it hit me that, as my son explained, being in NA and in his recovery, he said, Mom, I've always had this emptiness inside of me that I was trying to fill with the drugs and the alcohol and I thought, oh my God, I have that exact same emptiness. I could really feel it once I let go of all the people around me. And it was horrible. It hurt. That emptiness inside really hurt because I realized I have no idea who Margot is. Here's Margot, 51. I don't know how the hell I got through life. And really, I don't know who the hell I am. But I did realize that now it's up to me to deal with this emptiness, something that has to come in. And I was very lucky. I'm on a lot of meetings that are shared platforms. So it's AA and Al-Anon together. And one meeting about 4 months into my Al-Anon journey, there was a young man and he was exactly my son's age, so 23, and he was sharing, and he started his AA share by saying, dear God, please come in through me and allow me your words, whatever you want to say to these people today. And a sensation came into my body right where that emptiness was. And it filled it all up. And I believe that was my higher power coming in right through that young man from the Zoom screen, which I can't even explain how that works. And from that day on, I feel a great spiritual sense. I think it was a spiritual awakening of some sort. And it has caused me to know that I am never alone. My higher power is always right there for me. I was just disconnected because I was managing all these people and, seeking this outside external validation in the world that cannot be found there, because it's right here with me. When I connect to this higher power that is with all of us, each of us has their own higher power, then basically I'm that child that is allowed the love of God and the love of the world and the love of the people in it. And it's beautiful again today how it's Christmas time. It's a little tense for me, as I'm sure for a lot of you, because of the family dysfunction. So I'll go to my parents later on. They're in their 80s and they're very dysfunctional themselves. So I have to sort of prepare with my Al-Anon to be in that room, be of service to them, be loving to them, and not be filled with resentments over all the stuff that I think they did wrong. And it's so beautiful to share that today with all of you, because I'm sure we all have a little bit of that nervousness and, because of our families of origin. But here we are with our several fellowships that we have, and we're able now to get these tools and to get ourselves through it. And perhaps even like my sponsor said for Christmas now, she said, all you have to do, Margo, is sit back and be of service. Be of service to your parents, to your sons, to your husband, and make sure you don't complain and resent and, go into my unemotional sobriety state. And I want to say special thanks to Patrick and all the people in the background from the Berlin Circle, because you've helped me with the concept of emotional sobriety this year. And it's been very important to me. It's made a young girl of 51 into an adult woman who is able to take responsibility for her own life, not mingle in everybody else's life, and, put the focus back on me and my own recovery. And it's been such a treat to be here. And I thank you all for being here with us today.